Welcome to Framework, the podcast that makes the NIST Cybersecurity Framework practical, engaging, and accessible. Whether you're a cybersecurity professional, business leader, or simply curious about how organizations defend against cyber threats, this series is for you. This podcast is inspired by a comprehensive guide to the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, a best-selling resource written by cybersecurity expert Dr. Jason Edwards and trusted by professionals worldwide. In each episode, we'll leverage a few insights from Jason's extensive book to dive deep into CSF 2.0, unpacking every function, category, and subcategory with real-world applications you can immediately use. If you're enjoying this episode and want to learn more, head over to cyberauthor.me to grab your copy of the book and access additional resources to enhance your cybersecurity journey. You can also visit baremetalcyber.com, where over 2 million people last year explored expert insights, articles, and practical tools across a wide range of cybersecurity topics. Cybersecurity controls are the foundation of any organization's security strategy, providing the measures, policies, and technologies needed to protect against cyber threats. These controls serve as defensive mechanisms that help reduce the likelihood and impact of cyber attacks, ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of critical assets. Without effective cybersecurity controls, organizations are left vulnerable to data breaches, financial fraud, and operational disruptions. The controls are not limited to technical defenses. They also include governance structures, employee training programs, and incident response procedures that collectively strengthen an organization's ability to withstand cyber threats. By implementing a layered security approach, organizations can reduce risk, comply with industry regulations, and build resilience against evolving cyber risks. Cybersecurity controls are a fundamental component of the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, aligning with its 6 core functions: govern, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. The govern function establishes oversight and accountability for security controls, ensuring that leadership defines risk tolerance and enforces cybersecurity policies. The identify function ensures that security controls are applied to the right assets, data, and critical business functions. The protect function focuses on implementing preventive controls, such as firewalls, encryption, and access restrictions. The detect function supports the identification of anomalies and indicators of compromise, allowing organizations to respond to potential security incidents before they escalate. The respond function ensures that corrective controls, such as incident response plans, are in place to mitigate security breaches. Finally, the recover function emphasizes resilience, ensuring that organizations can restore operations following a cyber incident. Together, these functions provide a structured approach to security, integrating cybersecurity controls into every aspect of an organization's risk management strategy. Cybersecurity controls are categorized into 3 primary types: preventive, detective, and corrective, each playing a crucial role in securing an organization's infrastructure. Preventive controls are designed to stop cyber threats before they occur, serving as the first line of defense against malicious activity. Detective controls focus on identifying security incidents, alerting security teams to potential threats that may have bypassed initial defenses. Corrective controls help mitigate damage, contain incidents, and restore affected systems after a security breach. By implementing a balanced combination of these controls, organizations can establish a robust and adaptable security posture that addresses risks at every stage of an attack. Preventive controls focus on blocking cyber threats before they can cause harm, making them a critical component of any proactive security strategy. These controls enforce strict access restrictions, encrypt sensitive data, and educate users on cybersecurity best practices to minimize the risk of compromise. Firewalls act as barriers between internal networks and external threats, filtering incoming and outgoing traffic based on predefined security rules. Access controls ensure that only authorized individuals can access sensitive systems and data, reducing the risk of insider threats and unauthorized entry. Encryption protects data at rest and in transit, ensuring that even if an attacker intercepts the data, it remains unreadable without the proper decryption key. Security awareness training is another essential preventive measure, password hygiene, and social engineering threats. When properly implemented, preventive controls significantly reduce an organization's attack surface and limit the potential for successful cyber attacks. While preventive controls aim to block threats, detective controls are responsible for identifying and alerting security teams to potential security incidents. These controls provide visibility into network activity, system behaviors, and security logs, helping organizations detect anomalies that may indicate a compromise. Intrusion detection systems, for example, monitor network traffic for signs of malicious activity, generating alerts when unusual behavior is detected. Security logs collected from firewalls, endpoints, and cloud environments help security analysts track suspicious activity, investigate potential breaches, and identify attack patterns. Anomaly detection technologies leverage machine learning and behavioral analytics to spot deviations from normal user behavior, flagging potential insider threats or compromised accounts. Without effective detective controls, organizations risk missing early warning signs of cyber attacks, allowing adversaries to operate undetected for extended periods. Corrective controls play a crucial role in mitigating damage, containing incidents, and restoring systems following a cybersecurity breach. These controls focus on ensuring that organizations can respond effectively to incidents and recover from security failures. Incident response plans outline step-by-step procedures for identifying, containing, and eradicating cyber threats, ensuring that security teams can act quickly in the event of a breach. Backup restoration is another critical corrective control, allowing organizations to restore lost or encrypted data in the aftermath of a ransomware attack or system failure. Patch management ensures that vulnerabilities in software and operating systems are regularly identified and remediated, preventing attackers from exploiting known weaknesses. By implementing corrective controls, organizations minimize downtime, reduce financial losses, and strengthen their resilience against future cyber threats. Cybersecurity controls are embedded within the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, ensuring that organizations can effectively manage and mitigate cyber risks across all operational levels. The framework is structured around 6 core functions: govern, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, each of which relies on different types of controls to maintain security and resilience. By mapping controls to these functions, organizations can establish a structured and strategic approach to cybersecurity, ensuring that security measures are not just reactive but proactive and continuously improving. The framework provides a flexible foundation, allowing businesses to select and implement controls based on their unique risk profiles, regulatory obligations, and operational needs. A well-implemented cybersecurity control strategy ensures that technical defenses, governance policies, and response mechanisms work together to strengthen an organization's security posture. Collecting and implementing cybersecurity controls within CSF 2.0 requires organizations to prioritize security measures based on risk assessments. The govern function establishes oversight, ensuring that leadership defines security policies and risk tolerance levels. The identify function ensures that security teams understand which assets need protection, where vulnerabilities exist, and how cyber threats may impact operations. The protect function includes preventive controls such as firewalls, access management, and encryption, reducing the likelihood of a successful attack. The detect function leverages security monitoring and anomaly detection to identify potential threats before they escalate. The respond function ensures that organizations have structured incident response plans in place, allowing them to contain and mitigate security incidents efficiently. Finally, the recover function focuses on resilience, ensuring that systems can be restored following a cyber attack. By aligning controls with these functions, organizations create a comprehensive security strategy that is adaptable to evolving threats. An example of cybersecurity controls in action can be seen in a large enterprise implementing layered security defenses. A company may start by identifying critical assets and mapping potential threats, ensuring that security teams have visibility into the organization's risk landscape. Preventive controls such as network segmentation, zero-trust access policies, and endpoint security help protect sensitive systems from unauthorized access. Detective controls, including security information and event management systems and anomaly detection tools, continuously monitor for suspicious activity and potential security breaches. If an incident occurs, the organization's incident response plan activates containment protocols, ensuring that the affected systems are isolated and forensic investigations can begin. Corrective controls, such as automated patch management and backup restoration, allow the organization to recover quickly and strengthen defenses against similar threats in the future. This integrated approach demonstrates how cybersecurity controls work in concert to provide a robust and resilient security framework. Cybersecurity controls are generally categorized into technical, administrative, and physical controls, each serving a distinct role in protecting an organization's digital and physical assets. These categories ensure that security is not solely reliant on technology, but also incorporates governance structures and environmental protections. Technical controls focus on securing systems through technology-driven measures such as encryption, authentication mechanisms, and network security tools. Administrative controls involve policies, procedures, and governance frameworks that define security best practices, employee training, and compliance measures. Physical controls protect an organization's tangible infrastructure, preventing unauthorized access to data centers, office buildings, and hardware assets. A comprehensive cybersecurity strategy incorporates all three categories, ensuring a balanced and layered defense against cyber threats. Technical controls leverage hardware, software, and automated security mechanisms to enforce cybersecurity policies and mitigate cyber risks. These controls include firewalls that filter malicious traffic, intrusion prevention systems that block attacks, and encryption mechanisms that protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. Multi-factor authentication ensures that only verified users can access critical systems, while endpoint security solutions prevent malware and ransomware infections. Security teams also implement log monitoring and threat intelligence platforms, which provide real-time insights into potential cyber threats. Because cyber attacks often exploit technical vulnerabilities, automated patch management solutions play a crucial role in mitigating security risks by ensuring that operating systems and applications remain up to date. Without robust technical controls, organizations leave their digital infrastructure exposed to cyber threats that could result in data breaches, financial losses, or operational disruptions. Administrative controls define the policies and procedures that govern cybersecurity within an organization. These controls ensure that employees, contractors, and third parties follow security best practices and comply with regulatory requirements. Risk management policies define acceptable levels of cybersecurity risk, while access control policies dictate who can access sensitive data and under what conditions. Security awareness training educates employees on recognizing phishing attacks, social engineering attempts, and other cybersecurity risks, reducing the likelihood of human error leading to a security incident. Organizations also implement incident response and disaster recovery plans, outlining step-by-step procedures for containing and mitigating security breaches. Compliance frameworks such as NIST 800-53 and ISO 27001 provide guidelines for implementing strong administrative controls that support governance, risk management, and security enforcement. Without well-defined administrative controls, even the most sophisticated technical security measures may fail due to inconsistent policies or lack of security awareness. Physical controls protect the tangible assets and infrastructure that house critical systems and data. These controls include security badges, biometric authentication, surveillance cameras, and on-site security personnel to prevent unauthorized access to restricted areas. Many cyber attacks start with physical security breaches, where attackers gain access to server rooms, corporate offices, or employee devices to install malware or extract sensitive information. Organizations implement access controls for data centers and secure storage facilities, ensuring that only authorized personnel can interact with critical systems. Environmental controls, such as fire suppression systems, backup power supplies, and climate-controlled server rooms, ensure that IT infrastructure remains operational and protected from physical hazards. Physical controls may seem unrelated to cybersecurity, but they play a vital role in preventing insider threats, hardware tampering, and unauthorized data exfiltration. By integrating physical security measures into their cybersecurity framework, organizations strengthen their overall resilience against both digital and physical threats. Implementing cybersecurity controls is essential for protecting an organization's assets, but several challenges can hinder their effectiveness. These challenges range from budget constraints and workforce shortages to evolving cyber threats and operational complexities. Many organizations struggle to allocate sufficient financial and human resources toward cybersecurity, often prioritizing immediate business needs over long-term security investments. Additionally, the rapid pace of technological change introduces new attack vectors, making it difficult for organizations to keep up with emerging threats. Even when controls are implemented, gaps in integration, misconfigurations, and resistance to security policies can reduce their effectiveness. Overcoming these challenges requires a balanced approach that aligns cybersecurity efforts with business objectives, regulatory requirements, and risk tolerance. One of the most common challenges is budget limitations, which can restrict an organization's ability to invest in advanced security technologies, dedicated security personnel, and ongoing cybersecurity training. Many small and mid-sized businesses operate under tight financial constraints, often focusing on immediate operational priorities rather than long-term cybersecurity strategies. As a result, they may rely on outdated systems, minimal security monitoring, and reactive approaches to cyber threats. Larger enterprises also face budgetary challenges, especially when justifying security expenditures to executives and stakeholders who may not fully understand the potential impact of cyber risks. Organizations must approach cybersecurity as a business enabler rather than an expense, ensuring that security investments are prioritized based on risk exposure, regulatory requirements, and business impact. Another key challenge is over-reliance on a single type of control, leading to gaps in security coverage. Some organizations focus heavily on technical controls, such as firewalls and endpoint security, while neglecting administrative and physical security measures. Others may emphasize policy-based governance without implementing effective technical enforcement mechanisms, leaving critical vulnerabilities exposed. A layered security approach, also known as defense in depth, ensures that multiple types of controls work together to provide redundancy and resilience against cyber threats. Without this approach, attackers can exploit weak points in an organization's security strategy, bypassing isolated controls that lack reinforcement from other security measures. To address this issue, organizations should conduct regular risk assessments to identify gaps in control implementation and ensure that security measures work cohesively across different layers of protection. Balancing security with business operations is another significant challenge, as strict cybersecurity policies and controls can sometimes hinder productivity. Security measures such as multi-factor authentication, strict access restrictions, and network segmentation can add complexity to daily workflows, leading to frustration among employees and operational slowdowns. In industries that rely on high-speed transactions, real-time data access, or seamless customer interactions, overly restrictive security controls can create bottlenecks that negatively impact business performance. This challenge highlights the importance of user-friendly security solutions, risk-based access controls, and security awareness training to help employees understand why security measures are necessary. Organizations must strike a balance between maintaining strong cybersecurity protections while ensuring that security policies do not disrupt essential business functions. Cybersecurity controls are only effective if they function as intended and can withstand evolving cyber threats. Control testing and validation are essential to ensuring that security measures are properly implemented, consistently enforced, and capable of mitigating risks in real-world scenarios. Organizations must regularly assess their cybersecurity controls to identify gaps, weaknesses, and potential misconfigurations that could be exploited by attackers. Without continuous validation, organizations may develop a false sense of security, assuming that their controls are effective when in reality vulnerabilities remain undetected. By incorporating testing, monitoring, and validation into cybersecurity programs, organizations can ensure that their security controls provide reliable protection against cyber threats. There are several methods for testing cybersecurity controls, each serving a different purpose in assessing security effectiveness. Penetration testing, commonly known as ethical hacking, involves simulating real-world cyber attacks to identify weaknesses in an organization's infrastructure, applications, and network defenses. Vulnerability scanning uses automated tools to detect misconfigurations, unpatched software, and security flaws that could be exploited by attackers. Red teaming takes testing a step further by mimicking advanced persistent threats, allowing security teams to evaluate how well detective and response controls function under attack conditions. These proactive testing methods help organizations strengthen their defenses, remediate weaknesses, and improve overall cybersecurity posture. A key aspect of control testing is validating security awareness training through controlled social engineering exercises. Many cyber attacks begin with human manipulation, such as phishing emails or impersonation scams, which trick employees into revealing credentials or downloading malware. Organizations can test their employees' security awareness by conducting internal phishing simulations, where security teams send deceptive emails to employees to measure their response. If employees click on links or provide sensitive information, they receive immediate feedback and additional training to reinforce secure behaviors. This type of testing ensures that security awareness programs are effective and that employees are prepared to recognize and report social engineering attacks in real-world scenarios. In addition to manual testing methods, organizations can implement continuous monitoring and automated security assessments to detect vulnerabilities in real time. Security Information and Event Management (SIEM) solutions collect and analyze security logs from across an organization's network, helping detect anomalous behavior and potential threats. Automated security validation tools can conduct regular assessments of access controls, endpoint protections, and network security configurations, ensuring that controls remain effective over time. By integrating continuous monitoring with proactive security testing, organizations can reduce the likelihood of security incidents, improve incident detection and response, and maintain compliance with regulatory requirements. Cybersecurity controls play a crucial role in ensuring compliance with industry regulations and security standards, helping organizations avoid legal penalties, reputational damage, and financial losses. Compliance requirements vary across industries, but they all emphasize the need for strong security controls to protect sensitive data, ensure business continuity, and mitigate cybersecurity risks. Many organizations are subject to frameworks such as the General Data Protection Regulation (GDPR), the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification (CMMC), the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act (HIPAA), and the Sarbanes-Oxley Act (SOX), all of which require specific technical, administrative, and physical security control. By aligning cybersecurity controls with regulatory requirements, organizations demonstrate due diligence, reduce legal exposure, and build trust with customers, partners, and stakeholders. Auditors assess cybersecurity control effectiveness by reviewing policy documentation, technical implementations, and compliance reports to verify whether an organization meets security standards. One of the key areas auditors examine is access control enforcement, ensuring that only authorized personnel have access to sensitive systems and data. They also evaluate incident response plans to confirm that organizations can detect, respond to, and recover from security incidents effectively. Log management and continuous monitoring are frequently audited to determine whether an organization is proactively identifying threats and maintaining security visibility across its digital environment. Organizations that fail to meet compliance requirements may face fines, mandatory corrective actions, or increased scrutiny from regulators, reinforcing the importance of proactive control implementation and regular compliance assessments. Failure to implement proper security controls can result in severe regulatory consequences, data breaches, and financial losses. A well-known example is the case of organizations that suffered data breaches due to unpatched vulnerabilities or weak security configurations. In some instances, regulatory bodies have issued multi-million-dollar fines to businesses that fail to protect consumer data, disclose breaches in a timely manner, or enforce adequate security measures. Beyond financial penalties, compliance violations can lead to loss of customer trust, legal liabilities, and long-term reputational damage. On the other hand, organizations that proactively implement strong security controls and undergo regular compliance assessments are better positioned to avoid regulatory penalties and respond effectively to cybersecurity incidents. Effectively implementing cybersecurity controls requires a strategic approach that ensures security measures remain relevant, adaptable, and capable of addressing evolving threats. One of the most important best practices is continuous monitoring and control validation, which ensures that security controls function as intended over time. Cyber threats are constantly evolving, and what may be an effective control today could become obsolete tomorrow. Organizations must implement regular security assessments, penetration tests, and automated compliance checks to identify weaknesses and misconfigurations. By leveraging security information and event management (SIEM) systems, endpoint detection and response tools, and behavioral analytics, businesses can maintain real-time visibility into their security posture and detect anomalies before they escalate into major incidents. Without continuous validation, even well-designed security controls can degrade over time due to system updates, changing network environments, or human error. Organizations can also strengthen their cybersecurity programs by aligning controls with established frameworks such as NIST 800-53, ISO 27001, and the Center for Internet Security ISO controls. These frameworks provide structured guidelines for selecting and implementing security controls that align with industry best practices. NIST 800-53 is particularly valuable for organizations seeking to implement risk-based security controls across technical, administrative, and physical domains. By following these frameworks, organizations can ensure consistency, scalability, and alignment with regulatory requirements, making security controls easier to audit, enforce, and improve over time. Standardized control frameworks also help businesses streamline security investments and focus on controls that provide the highest return on risk reduction. Cybersecurity is not static. Controls must evolve to address new threats, business changes, and regulatory updates. Organizations must adopt a culture of continuous improvement, regularly refining their security policies, updating controls, and conducting security awareness training for employees. Threat actors are constantly developing new attack techniques, and organizations that fail to update their controls risk falling behind and becoming easy targets. Businesses should conduct post-incident reviews and lessons learned exercises to identify control weaknesses and implement necessary improvements. Additionally, as organizations expand operations, adopt new technologies, or migrate to cloud environments, security controls must be reassessed and adapted to align with new risk landscapes. The ability to proactively adjust security controls and integrate emerging technologies such as zero-trust architectures and artificial intelligence-driven threat detection will determine an organization's long-term cybersecurity resilience. That wraps up today's discussion on framework. Don't stop here. Head over to cyberauthor.me to explore more cybersecurity topics and discover a best-selling book covering NIST and other critical cyber frameworks. Please like, rate, and review this episode on Apple and Spotify. Until next time, remember that knowledge is power.